My name is Nadia, and growing up, I used to think family meant love, safety, and support. But in my house, family meant obedience, silence, and sacrifice, especially if you were the daughter. I was the only girl among four brothers. From the moment I could walk, my parents made it clear I was born to serve, cook, clean, pick up after my brothers, and smile while doing it. My mother called it my duty as a daughter. My father said it was training for marriage. But it felt more like I was the unpaid housemaid they could beat whenever they felt like it. When I turned 12, my chores became full-time responsibilities. I had to wake up at 5 a.m. to iron my brother's uniforms before school. After they left, I'd scrub the floors, wash the dishes, prepare lunch for my father, and get dinner started before everyone returned. Meanwhile, my brothers? They slept in, played video games, and dropped their dirty clothes on the floor like they lived in a hotel. If I ever asked why they didn't help, my mother would hiss, "They're boys. You're a girl. This is your role. Don't talk back." At 14, I dared to say no for the first time. The day I said no, it was a Sunday afternoon. I had just returned from school's library with a stack of books I was excited to read. I was tired. I hadn't slept well all week, and I just wanted to rest. "Get up and wash your brother's socks," my mom barked from the kitchen. I muttered quietly, "They're old enough to wash their own." She froze. My dad stormed in from the living room and screamed, "What did you say?" "I said they can do it themselves," I replied, trembling. "I'm not their maid." What came next is something I'll never forget. He grabbed his belt. I thought maybe he'd just yell. Instead, he whipped it across my back. Once. Twice. Then again. "Ungrateful brat. You don't get to question us. You're lucky we let you live here." I cried, not from pain, but from realizing the truth. They didn't love me. They owned me. My mother stood at the door, arms folded, nodding in agreement. "You're worthless," she spat. "If we hadn't fed you all these years, no man would ever want you. You're lucky to be here." I ran into the bathroom, locked the door, and cried on the floor until I couldn't breathe. That was the day my childhood died. The invisible prison. After that, I wasn't the same. I stopped talking at dinner. I avoided eye contact. I cooked and cleaned like they wanted, but inside I was already gone. I tried telling a teacher at school what had happened. She reported it to the counselor. My parents were called in. My dad smiled in front of them and said I was going through a rebellious teenage phase. My mom added that I was dramatic and overly emotional. Nothing happened. That night, I got another beating for shaming the family. By 16, I was barely surviving. They had banned me from having friends. I wasn't allowed to go anywhere except school. I wasn't even allowed to keep money. I had to hand over every rupee I earned doing tutoring or babysitting. My brothers, however, came and went as they pleased. One even crashed the car drunk once, and guess who had to clean the blood off the seat? Me. The final straw. When I turned 18, my father announced he'd found a man to marry me. "He's 42, he said. Divorced once. But wealthy. You'll thank us later." "No," I said firmly. "What did you say?" he growled. I said no. I won't marry a stranger. I want to go to college. My mother flew across the room and slapped me so hard my ear rang. "College? You think you're some princess? We fed you all your life, you owe us. This marriage is payment." That night, as they screamed about how I had betrayed the family, I quietly packed a small bag. I waited until 3 a.m. and snuck out the back door. The escape. I didn't have money. I didn't have a plan. But I had one friend from school, Laura, who had moved to a nearby city. I begged her to help. She said yes without hesitation. I stayed on her floor for 2 months, working double shifts at a grocery store and then tutoring kids in the evenings. I applied for scholarships and got one. That first semester of college felt like oxygen. I was finally free. No belts. No screaming. No being told I was worthless. It wasn't easy. I missed meals. I cried at night. I missed having a mother, even a cruel one. But I was building a life of my own. They came back for me. A year later, they found me. I don't know how. Maybe my cousin told them. Maybe they saw my name on the college's Facebook page. One day I got a message on WhatsApp from my mother. So this is the thanks we get? You leave us and act like we abused you. Another from my father. Come back and apologize, or we'll ruin you. They tried calling the college to say I was mentally unstable. They even contacted a fake family lawyer to scare me into returning. But I had saved every text, every threat, and I showed it to the campus support center. My caseworker helped me file a restraining order. It was official. I was free, legally, emotionally, and physically. The life I built. Now, I'm 24. I have a degree, a good job, a small apartment, a cat named Luna. I don't talk to my parents. Not my brothers either. They've tried to message me a few times, mostly to beg for money. I don't reply. Sometimes I get lonely. But that loneliness is 1,000 times better than being in that house, feeling like a thing instead of a person. I volunteer now at a women's shelter. I meet girls who are exactly where I was at 14, scared, beaten, told they're worthless. I tell them the truth. You are not worthless. You never were. They just needed you to believe that so they could control you. Final words. Some people will never understand what it means to escape your own family, to choose peace over blood. But I don't owe anyone an explanation. I'm not a maid. I'm not a servant. I'm not a punching bag. I'm Nadia. I survived. And that is enough.